Welcome to the Let's Talk Food podcast, where we have deep conversations about anything and everything surrounding with food. I'm your host, April Fontenot. Happy Sunday, guys. So happy to be back. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. If you're new to the show, welcome, welcome, welcome. You are in for a real treat, guys. But welcome to the show. It is going to be a good one tonight. But before we get into that, guys, how has your week been? Gosh, guys. As you know, the school year is already starting, guys. And Wednesday, and I don't know, chose such a crazy day to start school instead of Monday, but it's been really crazy, guys. So school starts in the middle of the week, and everything has been pretty hectic, guys. I mean, from school shopping to prep to get food and lunches ready, and God, the whole shebang, guys. But I'm so happy to be back, guys. I'm so sorry I missed you guys virtually on Wednesday, but I hope you tuned in to the audio version as always. And new listeners, if you're just tuning in, don't judge me. I did, I think, about 38 audio episodes since starting the show, but it's a great show, guys. I have some wonderful episodes from season 1 all the way until now, and there are guest speakers in the midst of all that on some of those episodes. But welcome tonight, guys. We're going to have a great time. I'm so happy to be back, but great stuff going on, guys. I had some really interesting things happen to me this weekend, by the way. So speaking of school stuff, guys, and don't judge me, guys, but my husband and I, we thought we were to try out one of those, they have like the free backpack giveaways or, free supplies. And I've never done that, guys. But we tried to go to one that was at a church, guys. Now, this is not your ordinary church, okay? And you know where I'm going with this, right? Because it was last minute, I, went on Eventbrite. And if you guys don't know what that is, it's like an app where you purchase tickets for certain events that are coming up, and a lot of them can be or free events, which this one was free, right? So I knew it was a catch, guys. It was like, oh yeah, we're having this free supplies backpack giveaway at some little church, guys. And you're from Houston, Texas, we have quite a bit of churches here, guys. Now this one is quite small, and I don't know if they have some large building somewhere else, but anyway, I'm going to get to the point, guys. So I thought it was funny that we would try this out. I mean, it doesn't mean that you are not capable of buying supplies, guys. For those of you who think that's what it is, it's just, I would say, to help people out. Times are tough, guys. We have inflation, of cost of food is rising, all kinds of things. But in my mind, I was like, well, why not try one of those giveaways and get it for free? I know, it's kind of crazy, guys, and you can just go buy it. But a lot of people probably would agree with me, right? Who wouldn't take advantage of that? So that's where I'm going with this, guys. I kind of got what I was deserving on this. And I don't know, maybe you guys are familiar with this, but okay, so I sign up, I do the tickets and I have the kids or whatever. So I'm like, well, we know my kids are antsy pantsy and they can't, sit still. We drive up and I get out of the car alone, right? So, everybody's in line, they're getting their wristbands, they're signing up. I have my Eventbrite tickets ready. I get in line. She's like, well, where are the kids? And but we'll need them to put the wristbands on and blah 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 blah. And mind you, me, guys, I'm not familiar with this, right? So yeah, I added all the kids, and some of them are not going, guys. So I was like, oh my gosh, ma'am, I'm so sorry. I said I didn't know if we needed, wristbands just to be inside the building. You know how it works, okay? So I'm just lost at this point, right? So I do that. I say, okay. I look for my husband. He's drove off with the kids. Guys, it made me look like I was just a liar, right? So I had to call him to make him come back. And she was like, yeah, just wait under the tent. So make a long story short, guys. So he comes back later with Richard. Everybody knows Richard now. He's 5, right? He's going to kindergarten. The new listeners who don't know, like I said, I have 4 children. Don't judge me. I had 3 back to back to back in the pandemic, and the ages are right behind each other, right? So we have, and I also have a bonus son, by the way, but 2 14-year-olds starting high school. And then I have my now 5-year-old going to kindergarten, 4-year-old, and my daughter, she's 2, she'll be 3 at the end of this month. So I have a full house, guys, but I take Richard out and he's already ready to go. He's antsy pantsy. So we get in line, go back. Well, actually, we got the wristbands. No, guys, this is the crazy part. Now, again, remember, this is a church, right? Now, it's not, like I said, your ordinary church. It was one of those kind of like sanctified parking lot churches, if you know what I mean. So I opened the door. Oh my God, guys. I opened the door and there are chairs for church. And there's a TV, guys. And everybody's just like sitting down, and those that are, I guess, have never did this like me before, or maybe they have this giveaway all the time at the church, and some of them looked a little calmer than others. But I sit next to this lady, and mind you, me, her, and her, I don't know if it was like her sisters or cousins or whatever, but they had about 8 or 9 kids amongst themselves. So all of her and the kids, I have Richard, everybody's bringing all the kids in, and I'm just like, where is the school supplies, where is the giveaway? So one of the, I guess, host or ladies or whatever that was helping out. Now, guys, she had on a, like, I guess you can call it a wig cap, and I kept saying, what is this in her head, And she had a wig cap on, right? So everybody would get our wristbands. We're all in. I sit down, and I just started freaking out. I kind of got creeped out. I was like, well, they have church going on, and I was like, maybe we're just in a waiting area waiting for the supplies. The lady with the wig cap, she came back in with a wig on, guys. She slapped the wig on her head, and she goes, "Yeah, go, go! We're going live." And then she took the remote. God, I'm not lying, guys. She took the remote and changed the TV to the live sermon with their pastor that we were watching before. So I turned to the other lady, and I was like, "I'm so confused." I said, "Oh my God, do we have to actually sit through this church sermon to get the supplies?" And she was like, "I don't know." She said, You don't attend church here?" And I said, "No, I don't." And it was so hilarious, guys. We were both so lost and just so confused. So I called my husband. I'm like, "Dude, I don't know what I signed up for, and I don't know what I'm getting into." And he's like, "What's happening?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." I said, they came in with water, bottled waters. I mean, just making us all comfortable. And I'm like, "Well, I think we have to sit through a church sermon." So I said, "Let me call you back." So I guess the other guy that was there, he was like the usher guys. So I turned around, I'm like, "Excuse me." I was like, "Is this a church service?" I said, "I know I said you guys are giving out, free giveaway backpacks and supplies and all that good stuff." And I said, "Do we have to actually sit through this?" I said, "How long is the service?" He goes, "Oh, yeah, well, it'll probably be under half an hour." Then he goes, "Well, no, it's probably like an hour and 20 minutes." I said, "Are you kidding me?" I said, "Oh, no." I said, "Sir, I have, my husband and my other kids in the car. I don't think they're going to wait too long." "Oh, yeah, they can come in too." I mean, guys, it was just a mess. And I laughed, guys. I said, where I'm going with this, trying to take the cheap way out and trying something new, you're going to get what you ask for, guys. And I'm not down talking or being negative about it, guys. But, for those of you like me, I guess I was a little naive. I was like, well, it was at a church, and I get it if you're trying to convert or save souls. And I go to church. I don't go in person as much as I used to. And I'm like, I don't think that's fair. I didn't think that that was fair. I don't think it was right. I think that they should have, you know, gave us a heads up, because it was quite a few people that were upset about this, guys. And I'm like, if you guys were trying to have attendance or make your church look good, maybe you should have said that while we're in line. And a lot of people may not have left, but I get it. Some people don't want to be sanctified. They don't want to be glorified. They don't want to go to church. And it wasn't that I didn't want to enjoy their sermon, but we were pressed for time, and it was just a mess, guys. But that was so funny. I had to share that. Trying to get a backpack and give away supplies, and just ended up having to waste gas and time. I mean, it was just so crazy. But anyway, guys, that was part of the weekend. And then the rest of it, guys, oh gosh, guys, I'm so excited. I don't know if you guys can tell, but do I look a little bit more refreshed, right? I think so. I am still doing this 21-day challenge. And new listeners, I have started a 21-day challenge. Like I said, if you're just tuning in, you've got to tune in to the previous episodes. Season 3 is where we're at now, episode 5. But season 3, I've been focusing more on the psychology of food, right? So we've been talking about all kinds of things. But one of the episodes that really got me into healthy eating in the 21-day challenge it was on brain fog, foods that cause brain fog. And I just realized that I've been eating a lot of foods that have been causing brain fog. I'm thinking that postpartum was prolonging, and that I'm just having this mommy brain. And all along, guys, I've been eating bad. So Yeah, it's been a journey, but I feel great, guys. I feel so good. Today I ran, I went back to one of the parks, and this park is a very special park for me, guys. New listeners, you don't know, and like I said, faithful listeners, please forgive me, but my mom means so much to me. But new listeners, she passed away during the pandemic in October of 2020. So this particular park that I ran at today is special to me because my mom, new listeners, like I said, it was during the pandemic, so we would have to have virtual visits with her. She could not speak. She was paralyzed from the head down, had multiple strokes and had her brain stems damaged, guys. So it was pretty tough, but this park, it was emotional for me because I had my now 5-year-old son. He was, I think, about 3 or 4 months old at the time. But guys, this is the park where I was on the virtual call and my mom passed away. So yeah, it took a while for me to go back and just revisit that park. It took me a few years. So today I had to take my daughter in the area and I was alone, guys. I actually had some alone time from the kids and the husband. So I said, instead of taking the walk or run in my neighborhood area, I said, let me go over here and feel her presence. I haven't been able to make it to the graveside. I normally would go all the time when the kids were in the stroller and cooperating, but now that they're more mobile and I've moved a little bit further away, it's a little hard for me to get there. So I always feel presence when I go to that park. It's beautiful. It has a lake. It's huge where you can get your workout on, guys. You'll feel the burn of the sweat there. That park is very special and it's also in remembrance. It wasn't a good day. It was very traumatic for me. My husband and I just had my son. Like I said, we wanted to work out, get out of the house. I was still going through, you can say postpartum, after baby, whatever you want to call it, time. And that was our time to get away and work out and hang out with the kids. And I get the phone call. My sister does her regular call because we could only have one designated visitor. So my baby sister was the one that was close in the area, and she was able to go all the time and contact us virtually. So that day, not so good, guys. My sister visited, which was strange, twice that day. And the second visit was when I was at the park. And my mom had been having some complications the night before. Ran a fever, I think of like, oh gosh, it was pretty high, 106 or maybe higher. She was throwing up, all kinds of stuff. And I haven't went into detail about her passing before, but it was when that happened, like I said, we were working out and my sister, gosh, I'm trying to remember what exactly happened. It was so crazy, guys. But yeah, my mom, she just started not responding and have, I think, vomiting, or it was something really weird where I remember now she was very sickly and the strange part about this, guys, like I said, my mom couldn't speak. She couldn't talk. But the last visit that we had before that, she would have this, it was just like this look in her eyes. And I think one of them, she even had tears rolling down her eyes because she couldn't speak. She couldn't tell us how she was feeling, but I could see it in her eyes, guys. You know your mom, you know your kids, you know your family, and you know their facial expressions. I could read in what she was thinking. I felt like I could, and it just looked so sad. She could hear us. I know she could hear us because she would move her head around like, I hear you guys, but it sucks that I'm struggling to communicate. I can't get it out. It looked like she was so sad, guys. But this particular day, and I'm sorry, guys, to get off topic. I know we're supposed to, but I just had to share this while I went to the park for a moment here. But went to the park, and my sister goes back. She was like, something's not right. I need to go back and visit. And she calls us back on the video. My mom, I think she went back because my mom could feel, or they called her since she was running the fever. And she starts just looking kind of weird and getting all pale. And it looked like her heart was racing. She just knew it was her time, guys. And I don't know, she had a tube down her throat. I don't know if maybe she was gasping for air or what was going on, but her mouth started moving really fast, like she was just talking to us, telling us goodbye, like she was gonna go. And my husband and the kids were ahead of me. And this is my daughter that's 14 and my bonus son that's 14. They were much younger then. And I had Richard in the stroller, so he gave me my privacy while I was walking and visiting my mom with my sister. So they just went ahead. And all I remember, I was calling and saying, Chris, that's my husband's name. I kept saying, guys, oh my God, my mom just passed away. Oh my God, guys. The scary part, it was like, you know how you're in a dream and you're in this movie and you're trying to ask for help? I felt like that, guys. I kept calling their names. Nobody heard me. My sister was just hysterical and so sad, guys. And my mom passed away while she was there. You know, that never happened. We never experienced that. And no one was there with her. I'm on the phone having to reassure her it's going to be okay. I'm in denial. I'm in shock. I couldn't believe that it happened. I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a dream. You know, it was crazy. And no one wants to experience that while their parent is on virtual visit, right? I was sad because I would have rather have been there with her. So it hurts, guys. So that's why I talk about her all the time, because I was not present with her in her hospital room when she passed away. But the good part, we did get to go up to the hospital after it happened. Like I said, I had to leave the kids with my husband, and which sucks because I could have brought them, but I don't know, I was just in this weird space, and I was just like not thinking, and I just drove myself, and I'm in the car trying to just think, and I didn't cry, guys. I couldn't cry. I couldn't get it out because I didn't know what to think. When she was hospitalized for months after she had the strokes, I was just like, we're going to get through this. Everything's going to work out. And everything started declining. And I had in the back of my mind, if that should have or would have, could have happened, I was going to be prepared for it. But that way. Yeah, guys, but I visited that park. And like I said, I hate to get off topic sometimes, but sometimes I just go there, new listeners. I have, something that I have to reminisce about, which is great. And that's why this is a Let's Talk Food. We talk about anything and everything surrounding with food. But welcome to the show, guys. I had a great workout. The 21-day challenge is going awesome. It's going great. And back to how I'm feeling. I feel great, guys. If you can't see that, I feel refreshed. I let my hair down. You see that? And crazy part, guys, my hair is weird. I tried to record, was it yesterday? And my hair was all straight, looking all good. And I wasn't feeling it, guys. So, I put my hair in a ponytail to run today and take it down, and it just curled all up by itself. Isn't that cool? Isn't that wonderful? I didn't even have to do anything. I know it doesn't look all that, but I feel good regardless of my hair. I feel great. I've been eating better. I had a really good salad I made today. I didn't do the romaine. I did the red leaf lettuce. I had avocado. I had one of the rotisserie chickens. And I always like to put my rotisseries, guys, back in the oven to make it extra crispy so it could be a little dry, just a tad bit dry. I don't know. I'm kind of weird like that, but it tastes so great when you redo it. I don't know how many of you guys do that, but if you do that right. So I always put it back in, then I take the knife and kind of slice it and shred it in pieces, make this nice salad. And I'm sorry, guys, I haven't shared it on my social media. Like I said, I've been so busy this week because of back to school. But I mean, when I tell you guys that salad was amazing, I've been eating fruit. I went back to the store. I have pears. And I think last week I was eating Envy apples. I think this week is Fuji apples. Oh my God. Talk about the family of apples. Those apples are delicious. And the pears that I'm eating, and I don't remember what type they are, but everything tastes so much fresher when you're eating it from the produce section. And I always get fresh fruit and vegetables that I hadn't been eating clean or eating that way, guys. I'll be honest, until I actually started this series or season 3 and did the brain fog. So I feel great. Fruit and vegetables. I've been doing broccoli, and the broccoli has been different for me. Instead of steaming it, I saw one of the other chefs I've been following, guys. I saw where she cut it, and put it on a pan and laid it out very evenly and neatly and put oil but with mine I seasoned it with like a garlic and herb, and I put butter, guys, on top of it. And when I tell you, putting that in the oven is like heaven. But I've been doing that and just no soda. I've been drinking water, guys, lots of water. I did cheat a little bit. I kind of snuck some of the tater tots from the kids, but I feel great, guys. I have not been eating all the crazy foods and things that I mentioned that give us brain fog, to sum it all up. And I feel so great. I can tell the difference with the working out. I've been lifting weights. My little weights I have, they're not that big, guys. Doing my ab exercise, just putting in the work, guys. And I also, when I went running the other day, I made a video. Like I said, I just haven't got around to posting a lot of things, but I feel great. I feel so good. I'm just happy that I'm doing this challenge, and I think I'm seeing just a little bit of results. And this may not be from the challenge, but I put on some shorts today, guys. And the waist part is like, it's room there. It was falling off of me when I was working out. I said, so I don't know. before I started the 21-day challenge, I could tell that I've been losing the weight. So this is going to be great. I mean, I cannot wait to show you guys the results. And 21 days, I know it probably won't be that much, but I just want to, I guess that's the way to help you get started and to keep going. So I know I'll keep going. I pray that I can keep this from here on out. I feel great and I understand the importance of eating healthy now. And I'm trying to get my husband and my kids on board. They love fruit, they love vegetables. So this has been great. And I feel good, guys. So yeah, thank you so much, like I said, guys, for being so faithful, tuning in. New listeners, thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the show. And guys, if you're new, yes, it's Let's Talk Food. We'll get into this topic. And tonight, by the way, the topic is food and friendships, how lunch shapes social circles at school. Ooh, no, this is a good one. And this can be for elementary school, junior high or high school, you name it, guys. But I thought I would continue I guess we can call this kind of like an episode number 2 with the kiddos. But last week we did more of the psychology of the lunchbox. And tonight, we're more so talking about food and friendships and how we have social circles. Social circles, with our lunch and how make friends, guys. And I think this is a great topic because I can remember back to my childhood and my school days, junior high and high school. And it's very true. You can sit at the table and I wouldn't say that everybody judges your lunch per se, but they kind of feel you out like, oh, she looks nice or he looks nice. Why don't I join them? Their lunch looks great. Anything to make a friend, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, guys. But thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, like I said. But yeah, great, great stuff. Now, one last thing, guys, before we get to the topic, new listeners, I am a movie buff and a reality TV buff, but I did see some great stuff in the news, guys. Now, I was talking about Devon Franklin in his former fiance, guys. Well, guess what? They tied the knot over the weekend, guys. Oh my gosh, guys. And when I tell you, people.com, Essence, everyone has captured the moments, the beautiful, beautiful dress that Maria Castillo Franklin now had on. Devon looked sharp and handsome as ever. And they had a really beautiful wedding, guys. And I'm just so happy for him. I'm happy for him, moving on with his life. Like I said, I don't know what transpired, what happened with him and Megan Good. And I know they get tired of people talking about it, but it's reality, guys. And they were big stars in Hollywood couple. Megan Good has been an actress since she was a kid. Who is not going to follow her? And she's doing great, by the way, with Jonathan Majors. I checked their Instagram pages out as well. I'm just happy they're both in love. They all look happy. They look great. They look healthy. I saw some really negative comments though, guys. People are just, well, did he do that for Megan? And he didn't say all that for her, and I hope he can't. He's a hypocrite. I mean, all these negative things, it may or may not be true, but guys, let them live their lives. That's just like when you have a breakup. Do you honestly think you're not going to move on with your lives? And if you don't, then that's not normal. That's just crazy. That's not healthy. We got to move on with our lives, guys. I've had previous relationships. You've had previous relationships, marriages, whatever, and life goes on. So I feel like that's a great thing for him. And I'll be honest, guys, he looks so much happier now. I don't know if it's just, finding that perfect person, or maybe he was just afraid he wasn't going to find love again. But he seems like she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's making him happy. I mean, she's much younger than Megan. I don't know if that's the reason why, guys, but, if that's what floats his boat, but I get it. He has a major age difference. I think they said it's like 17 years. I mean, it's pretty out there, guys. But I've been in, and I hate to put this on blast on myself, but I was in a relationship before. I think he was about that much older. But we didn't get married. It wasn't that serious. But now that I think about it, I'm like, I was in my 30s, thank goodness. But I think she just turned 30, so it looks a little weird for him, a little awkward. But again, if that's, she's not a minor, she's an adult, she's beautiful. If that's what they want to do, be happy for him, guys. Just like you have to be happy for Megan and Jonathan. A lot of people have negative things to say about their relationship and what they have going on. And he just looks so giddy. I don't know what Megan has whipped on him either, right? So they're both married, rather, to their spouses that are much younger. My husband's younger than me. He's 4 years younger. So it's possible, guys. It's different. It's a lot different for me because I never have talked to anyone that's younger. I always get like older. Everybody's like intimidated by me, I guess. when I was in school and much younger, I would always get the older guys, which is nothing to be proud of. But I don't know, but that's something to think about. But yeah, guys, good things on that. And Eva, Marcel, and Mike Sterling, I'm still seeing some wonderful, Instagram posts with them. I mean, everybody's just happy and in love is where I'm going with this. So didn't get to watch much TV or movies, but I've been tuning in to reruns of the First Wives Club, guys, on Netflix, and I think it's also on Prime. But if you don't know about this show, guys, it's really cute. It's with Jill Scott. She's a really major, beautiful artist, guys, and some other great actresses. Michelle Butte, I think that's how you pronounce it, Butte or Butt. She's a comedian. And she's in it. There's some really great actresses. Check it out, First Wives Club. I think they did like 3 seasons, and it's kind of like another show that I found that's similar, to like a modern day girlfriends type show. So if you like those type of shows, check it out, guys. First Wives Club. But yeah, great stuff, guys. Like I said, getting the kids ready for school, checking out the Instagram posts. Everybody's in love, and I'm just in this great space. Like I said, I just adore love. I like to see people happy and just all giddy, and it makes me happy. I'm like, be in that space. I want to go back to in love season. I mean, when you're married, guys, you just, and I can't speak for everyone's marriages. Some marriages thrive all the way through. But for those of you that are like me, when you hit like that 8th or 9th year, it's like, well, yeah, won't. Especially if you have kids. So I'm not saying our marriage is all bad, but it's not perfect, guys. So we got a lot of work to do. But like I said, those posts just lift my spirits. Anyway, guys, food and friendships, how lunch shapes social circles at school. So yeah. Now let's be honest, guys. Now tonight, and before I get into that, I'm sorry. Tonight, like I did last episode, the audio, it's quite a bit of references or articles, so I won't have you going to them again. I will have them listed in the show notes for the virtual show tonight on YouTube, as well as my audio platforms for you guys to check out. So I have some information that I have from the references that I'll give to you guys, but you can just listen on or take notes, get your pen and paper, notebook, whatever you got, guys, and let's get to it. So the lunch table, guys, is a social playground, right? Like I said, let's be honest, and this is from the article, one of the articles, guys. So, new listeners, if I'm doing a solo show, I like to reference what I'm reading. And like I said, I have references. Don't worry. They will be listed in those notes, okay? So the lunch table in school is one of the most socially charged spaces, guys, for a child, right? So it's where friendships are built, cliques are formed, and sometimes where loneliness happens, right? I agree with that. Like I said, when you sit with, your friends who, I guess it's what you eat, how you eat, all of it sends messages, like I was saying earlier, right? And yes, the lunchbox has social currency, guys. I agree with this article because, like I said, for me, I was very timid. I was very shy. I still am in some aspect in my adult life, right? New listeners, if I took 38 episodes to get on camera, I mean, come on now. If that's not shy, I was very introverted, but I'm growing out of that, but I'm still camera shy, if that makes sense. So, yeah, so I agree with this, who you sit with, how you eat. And what I would do, I wasn't very good at going up to other kids. I would just kind of sit at the lunch table, look around, put my head down, whatever. I was just very shy and I felt kind of awkward, kind of silly. And then here comes some nice little friend. It was always some girl that was, hi, what's your name? And can I sit with you? And what are you eating for lunch? And that's how we hit it off, guys. And I still have some of those friends. We don't talk like on the phone, but they're on my social platforms. Some of the friends I went to with school, we're not as close as we used to be, but I can see them from afar. I can see how you guys are doing, and that still brings me joy. That makes me happy to see everybody's, married, have families, have children, and just thriving, guys. So that's all good for me. But I truly remember that, and I get, like I said on the last episode, just a little nervous about my children because they're starting school. And I always wonder, like, is Richard going to make friends? My other daughter, Zion, she's made quite a bit of friends, but she admitted she's quite nervous, guys, for high school. So I don't know. I'm just a little nervous for them. I mean, especially Richard. Like I said, he's never been to public school, never been to public school, first time kindergartner. So think about it, guys. It's very, very scary. But yeah, I think about that. So I agree with this article, right? And, kids might feel left out if their food looks different, right? Smells different, or if they don't have the cool snack per se, right, of the week. And parents, that pressure is real. But don't worry, we're going to unpack that today, right? So, cultural foods encourage, guys. Listen up. So, let's talk cultural identity for a moment. So many of our babies are bringing meals that, reflect their roots, right? And sometimes they get teased for it. I wouldn't say that for me per se, because again, my mom, it wasn't that she didn't want to make lunches for us. We just chose to eat the free lunch. So I didn't have that issue. But for those of you that have different cultures. Especially my daughter, she's and my son now, they're in a very diverse district, school district, and you're going to have all types of folk there. So, if you have, oh gosh, guys, I mean, Houston is just so diverse. I mean, we have people from all walks of life, all walks of culture. So if you're bringing your food from the dinner the night before, I can imagine how kids turn their nose up at some of them. It may not smell the way yours smells. So I agree with this, right? But think back to your childhood, guys. Do you remember how your lunch was packed? Did you eat free lunch, or how did you feel when you made friends in that social circle? At school. I don't know. Something to think about, right? But this is great. This is really great. So yeah, kiddos going back to school. The cultural changes now. Um, Now, I'll never forget a mom who told me her daughter didn't want to bring her grandma's biryani anymore, guys, because another kid said it smelled weird, right? Okay, so that hurt me, y'all. The food is heritage. It's home and it should be honored, not hidden. So how do we help our kids feel proud of their food? Well, we're going to teach them early, guys, that their culture is not just valid, okay? It's beautiful. And that goes for all kids, guys. So, yeah, yeah, good stuff, right? Now, the cool snack dilemma, next one here, guys. I'm sorry, get back to that. Cool snack dilemma. The article's being a little wonky here. All right, so let's talk about those snacks that somehow become social status symbols, guys. So, Takis, Lunchables, you have your Gushers, you name it. If you don't know, my kids are big Gushers and sour, wormy type kids. So, I think this is going to be something on the lunch, but I don't think I'm going to let them take that to school. Like I said, Richards, he is already hyped up rowdy without sugar, so I don't think that's a good idea. But for those of you that pack your kids the cool lunches, like it says here, I don't know if that's a good idea, guys. But yeah, now with that, because food is heritage is home, right? So, they might have a treat here and there. It's okay to do that, but let's not fall into the trap of thinking our kids need designer snacks. Instead, give them something unique and tasty that they can share, right? Like some homemade trail mix. I would say some fruit kebabs. My personal to go would definitely be like some fruit, guys. I love cutting up apples. I did that today. Pears, banana, oranges, or just make a fruit bowl or something that they can share. I don't know. Chips may not be the healthier choice if you do something plain. Also, I would say pretzels. Right, that's a favorite of mine. And they have like the Lunchables, and I don't know if they allow kids to share lunches, guys. I don't think they do anymore, but we're in different times. We're in a different time, a different era, especially after the pandemic. There's a lot of rules and regulations and stipulations out there. So I don't know, guys, if your children are allowed to share lunches. If they're not, then whatever. But these are some good tips, right? So yeah, cool snack dilemma, that's a good thing. But guys, we have got a lot of work to do here. All right, and then the next one, guys, is the helping kids navigate lunchroom politics. Okay, woo, talk about a good topic on this one, right? Now here's the real talk, guys. Our job isn't to make our lunch is perfect for them, guys. I mean, I know we want to be the best mommy and daddy of the year, and everybody's got to be the cool kid, but don't stress yourself out, guys. I'm having to tell myself that, I mean, I get it. We don't want our kids to be judged for, what they're bringing to school, like they're, less advantaged, I guess, if that makes sense. But who cares, guys? I mean, they're giving out free, especially, I don't know if they're doing it all over, the United States, but Texas is still going to give out the free lunches this year. So I don't think it really matters. I mean, and I think that's fair because that actually helps with the school politics and the bullying and the stereotyping. It just helps to make it, fair. Everybody's eating the same thing, they're all alike, and they can all enjoy lunch together, right? So I would think of it like that. I think that's a good idea. So, ask your child how lunch feels socially. Talk to them, guys. I know I'm going to do that with Richard and Zion for sure. About to call her by their daughter's name, guys. Have too many kids here. But Grace, that's the baby girl, new listeners you don't know, and she's 2. She'll be 3 at the end of this month. So she'll be starting school hopefully soon too, right? But yeah, but ask them how they feel eating what you pack. Just kind of get a feel for your kid, what they like and what they don't like. I think that would be a great way to make them feel, just so more social, more comfortable, happier with eating, what's on their, and we won't say plate because it's lunch, but what's in their lunch boxes, right? And they could have a better school day, a better school year, if you pack some great lunches, but don't go overboard. Don't try to compete. Just make it plain and simple. Like I said before on the last episode, crackers, maybe turkey sandwiches, or you can do like those wraps, turkey and hummus wraps with carrots. If you want to, just make something light and simple, and that's gonna keep them full and nourish them, but not too full where they'll fall asleep in class, right? But just some things to make them happy socially, and they'll look forward to lunchtime, and they'll have friends, and they'll, and if they don't bring, pack lunch, there's free lunch, and just, ask them questions of what they're saying here. So encourage them to speak up for others who may feel excluded. And I always felt like that, guys. Like I said, I was the shy kid. I was a little introverted, so I didn't know how to kind of stand up for myself when I was much younger. Now, once I got older, of course, I would speak my mind, and I would tell them like it is. But elementary school, I was very timid. Well, no, no. You know what, guys? I am not telling the truth. I remember I switched school districts. Now, one school district I was, but once I reached, I think it was like fourth grade or fifth grade, I was a little bad, guys. I was still shy, but you know how you get this group of friends, guys. And I had this friend, she was a little out there, and she was just the life of the party. So when I hung with her, I felt, more alive. But once I switched schools again, I became this shy, timid student, and, I just all over again. I mean, we moved quite a bit when I was much younger, with my mom, single mom. But all actuality, guys, it was great. I mean, it was a learning experience, and we never realized how, school lunch, just being with our peers just shapes our future, shapes our lives, and how that can impact us as adults, or just navigating our lives through school. Once you, reach a certain age, you can think back, wow, if I wasn't social or I didn't have these friends, where would I be today? And a lot of people, they may and may not grow out of it, but of course I did. I mean, I don't have, like I keep saying in most of the episodes, I don't have a big group. I don't have a mommy group. I don't have a lot of friends that I hang out with, and I'm fine with that. And I guess that just comes from my childhood. Like I said, I was a little introverted. I'm more I like to keep a small circle, if that makes sense. And I'm noticing that a lot of folk are like that today, but I don't even have that anymore. Just kind of say to myself, I'm okay with that. Now, not saying that I don't want to make friends because I plan to. I'm sure once I start going to the school, guys, that's going to change. I'll make some mommy friends, hopefully, and maybe even join a group at the school or do some volunteering. But we'll see how Richard does. And oh gosh, guys, my high school or her school is lovely, so I may do some there too. But yeah, anyhow, guys, just talk to your kids. Remind them that kindness is always more important than what's in a plastic bag. Okay, guys? All right, so that's helping kids navigate lunchroom politics, guys. All right, next one. Let me give you some lunchbox tips, guys. So before we wrap up, and I know this is quite short, not, I was going to throw my 2 cents in some of this, but here are some 3 quick tips for building lunches that support connection and not comparison, guys. So I would say something fun or different that you could do, like to make, like we were kind of getting into just a minute ago here. Maybe make some star-shaped sandwiches. I like the Mickey Mouse type ears. Anything funny to make your kids smile. Make some cookies, make some little funny faces. Do whatever you can is where I'm going with this, to be creative with their lunches if there are, if they are, or if you do decide to pack lunch rather for your kids. Just be creative and put something in there, put a note, whatever you can to make your kids feel good, guys. And I wasn't always that type of mommy, but after having so many kids and just navigating through life, you realize, oh my gosh, guys, what the heck was I doing? I mean, I wasn't like that with my first kid, and I'm sure most of you were not as well. But once you become a parent of multiple children, you just feel like so bad. I know I do. So I'm like, I think I'm going to start doing that. Put a little note if I remember. Put something fun, something that's going to make Richard and Zion happy this year. I think I'm going to work on that. So yeah, do that. And then this, tip number 2, pack a shareable snack like we said before, guys. A healthy treat that your child can offer to a friend if they are allowed to do that, right? And then our last tip here, you want to boost your child's confidence, guys, especially on tough days. Like I said before, just make them feel good, make them feel at home, let them know that they are, a big help to the school, to their friends. Once they tell you, hey, I made a friend with such and such, just encourage them, guys. Make them feel like they are number one, that they're the priority, they're going to do great, and they're going to make lots of friends is where I'm going. So lunchroom, making friends during lunch is where we're at tonight, guys. Just make your kids feel great, focus on their feelings, emotions, their just their well-being is where I'm going. We want our kids to thrive and we want them to do well. So what better way to do that, guys? Just be the best parents that you can. Like I said, volunteer, pack a great lunch, put some notes in there, give them some pep talks, whatever you have to do in the morning. Because I know it's going to be tough for me, especially with Richard, guys. He is going to have a fit. And I may be wrong. He may do totally opposite. He may be excited. He may like his classroom. He may like his teacher and his friends. But